Deciding not to be a mother and deciding not to be somebody's wife does not mean that you do not value family. Okay? Family is not synonymous with motherhood and marriage. Families take all sorts of structures, and they always have. This is the funny thing about history. The nuclear family with a man, a woman, and children is actually not the dominant family type. And it isn't the oldest family type that's been in existence. In fact, there's lots of evidence and studies that actually suggest that other family formats are far more conducive to community, healthy, collaborative community. And so I do take great umbrage when I hear certain authors and commentators outrightly say that women who are not mothers, women who haven't prioritized becoming somebody's wife, okay, are not family oriented. That is insulting, quite frankly, okay? You can be loved, okay, by your family, siblings, nieces and nephews, grandparents, cousins, and not be a mother and not be somebody's wife. In fact, you can be a very proactive, valuable, and well cared for member of a family as a woman and not be a mother and not be somebody's wife. It is really, language is very important. I believe it is. Language is extremely important, okay? There is meaning in life to be found and had outside of being a mother and outside of being somebody's wife. And when I see a lot of these conversations that are trying to present women who want to get married, women who are married as this oppressed class, and insinuating that women who desire marriage, women who want to be mothers have to hide this desire, that is a foolishness. Culturally and structurally, the world is set up for exactly that to happen. You to become a wife and you to become a mother. Okay? Women are rewarded and incentivized to move into those roles. In fact, most women still desire that. It is fair to say that there is a good proportion of women who are single right now for whom it's not a choice. It is just their circumstances, right? And so to present these choices as these kind of now oppressed, that is ridiculous. You are not punished structurally and society-wise for desiring motherhood, desiring marriage. Is motherhood hard and at times punishing? Absolutely. Because here's the thing, just because you have the biological ability to procreate and give birth to children, it doesn't mean that you are ready for and particularly suited for parenting. Because one is biological and the other, parenting, okay, and especially when it takes form in specifically when we're talking about motherhood, that is a social, relational, financial, spiritual, and emotional role. It is not just about the biological. There are plenty of women who can biologically procreate who do not adapt very well to motherhood. Because the two things aren't the same. I always say that. Would it be adventurous to be pregnant? Yes, because I find pregnancy fascinating, actually. Yeah, but I won't find parenting as fascinating. Do you see where I'm coming from? There's a difference. But that does not mean that I do not value family. It does not mean I do not have meaning in my life. That is insulting. There isn't one way to be a woman. And it doesn't mean that your life is lacking in meaning if you have chosen not to play either or both of those roles. We do have to be very specific with our language here. And you know what cracks me up is that when you've got these authors and commentators portraying women who don't get married and women who don't have children as lacking in meaning in their life, are we not the same ones that make up the village? Funny that.